All right, so goal for today is to take our part files that are already completed. At this point, you should be at least this far with your own designs. And our goal is to put them into an assembly file and have them all locked together. All right, so you do need to, I mean, unless you have memorized it, have an idea of how they actually fit together. So it's not a bad idea to have your plan accessible. Inside of Onshape, all you're going to do is, come on, there we go. In the same document that you have all of your part files, you're going to make an assembly, which the tab will probably already be there. And start by insert. Okay. The order doesn't really matter. It does tend to be easier to, in my opinion, build up and sort of like keep adding things to it rather than down. But again, there isn't really any up. Up is what you've defined it. For me, I'm going to start with the green piece and then sort of wrap the black or the gray one around, then wrap the pink one around and so on. So start with the green piece, insert it, click to set it, and hit OK. And we should be able to ground it or lock it. Fix. There we go. Okay, fix means locked in place. And that's all we need for right now. We can turn off origin. Okay, then second one. Okay, gray piece will come next. We just need one of those. Hit check. And to get it to line up, you can do oh, is that ball connector? How do we do? Never remember. Rotates the whole thing. Oh yeah. All right. So you can click on a piece and do your turning as needed to see, you know, generally what direction it's going to need to connect with. And that's fine. I can't remember which is the one plane mate. We want to mate this face here to this face here. It's not going to line up exactly at this point. But it should, yeah, okay. So it looks like it can completely still move, but it still should be locked on that face. And so you're always going to need 3 constraints: constrain forward and backward, left and right, and up and down. So we've already done, I guess, forward and backwards. We need to do, let's just do up and down. We look at it from the bottom and do planar mate with this face. And I think it'll work for, if I hit OK, is it going to pop back? Yep, there we go. Okay, so even though the first one I did, they were facing each other, like to mate faces, and this last one I did, they line them up like flush faces, it still knows what you want. And so if you're not sure which direction the last way, the third constraint is grab the piece that moves and figure out which way it needs to go. In this case, I'm just going to line up this face with this face. So we'll go from this face to this face and hit OK, and it pops over to resolve the other ones. Okay, and you know you're done if you can grab either piece and neither of them move. Okay, it's important to make sure they line up. Okay, so next one. And I think I'm going to make a mistake on purpose just to see what happens and what yours will look like if you click on the wrong face. But first, I am going to sort of orbit it around to make it look the way that it's supposed to, which is something like this. Okay. like I said, you don't have to orbit it around, but if it helps you sort of line up what goes where. So this roughly goes like this. What do you do? Yeah. So it roughly goes like this. And so first one I know for a fact is that the bottom, this pink face, right, the face of this pink block here is flush with all the bottom of the other ones. So I can do plane this one to this one. And I think if I wanted it, yeah, if I wanted to have it mate, I would hit, yeah, okay. So it guesses which one. And I want it to be this, even though it's all the way mixed in, that's fine. What matters is that one mate has lined up the bottoms there. Okay. What else? Well, I know that this face of the pink one needs to line up with this face. It's all the way to the right, all the way to the front. I don't know. So let's plane this with this and this. And I know everything popped over, which I don't like. I wish it would solve it before you hit OK, but you hit OK and it lines up. And now I have 2 out of my 3 constraints. So it only moves in one direction this way. And the only way to lock this up as it stands now is to mate this face right here with this face. I suppose we could mate this face with this face and it would work the same. But either way, it's got to be a mate where we mate this to this, pops over, you hit OK, and you're good to go. Okay, next one. So I'm building my way up. Build the orange one on next because it sort of fits the next way. And let's rotate it, double click, or do you even have to double click? Yeah, no, single click. And this one goes like this. Roughly. It fits sort of in like that. Okay, so let's see what faces we know line up. Well, I know this face right here should be lined up flush with here. And the same thing here goes on the right side. And then we'll figure out what we have. So we can mate the face. Well, it's a flush, but I still call it a mate. And it guesses that it should be flush just because it's closer to what you want. But if it flips it the wrong way, you do need to flip it back with flip primary axis. Okay, so only the orange piece should move right now. Okay, the other ones are already locked in. And so I've got it locked to the front. It just needs to the 2 other directions. So let's plane mate this one to this one. Hit OK and grab it. And the only direction it moves at this point is this way. So we could either mate this to this. We could mate this to this. Or we could just flush the tops. And even though this highest point of the green piece doesn't touch the highest horizontal face of the orange piece, they still need to be lined up. And you can still flush them even though they're not contiguous. So let's do mate that one to that one. And if I did this, it would break one of the other ones. Let's see what happens if I did that. Yeah, so one of the other ones is angry. I'm not sure which one, but either way, it's not right. So let's do it correctly. I'm disappointed it doesn't give you the error rather than just like accepting your mistake. But there we go. We hit that, hit OK, grab every piece, and it doesn't move. That's the plan. And the last one, this blue one. Let's see here. What do I know? Without even rotating it, I know that it's pointed roughly the right direction, but needs to be rotated. I know that this little down part fits into this little notch right here. So I'm just going to start by doing that without even doing a rotate. Mate this face to that face. Hit okay. Of course, it's all mixed in there, but that's fine. I know that this sort of L part sticks through here, so I can just flush the right side of everything with that, and that will rotate it. Hit okay, and then we're down to just one more, and I'm just going to flush this to this. It knows I want to flush, and hit okay, and there you go. And when you're done, you should be able to grab every single piece and have them not move. And let's rename this. I'll just puzzle cube assembly. And this is not a ton of work, but you do need to have it done before we go on to the next thing next time. So you need to be to this point by the end of today so that you can keep up with us for next time. All right. Let me know if you have any questions. Get to work.